on. Welcome to the Mysterious Domain Movie Palace. Well, it's November. It's getting towards the end of the year, so it's really in spooky time now, right? So I have a nice spooky film for you, of course, in the Mysterious Domain Movie Palace. That's what we show. Now, when I was researching the Gorgon and researching Barbara Shelley, who was in the Gorgon, I found out she made a film called Cat Girl in 1957. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. So I went and looked for it, and voila, I found it. And it's really good. In fact, I really think you will enjoy this, especially if you like Cat People by Val Lewton, because you're going to see a lot of references to cat people in this film. You'll also see some references to the Italian Gothics, like by Antonio Margheriti and Mario Bava. And you will see, it's like cat people combined with an old dark house. And Barbara Shelley swans around in an evening gown for most of the film, a strapless evening gown. Everyone else is all covered up, and it looks like it's cold, actually, in that house. Anyway, it's really good, and she's so young, she still has fat in her face, you know. This film has a very interesting director. He's called Alfred Shaughnessy. And Alfred Shaughnessy was born in London, but he's kind of an American English person. He kind of goes back and forth. His grandfather was made a baron, and his mother was a descendant of our 11th president, James K. Polk. So he's a bit of an aristocrat. Then his mother married this Honorable Sir Piers Lee, who was the equerry for the Prince of Wales in the 1920s. So the family had all these, they were quite posh, living in Norfolk, and they had butlers, cook, footmen, maids, ladies in waiting, chauffeur, you know, all the things that, you know, rich people have, you know. He drew in this childhood of aristocratic privilege to write upstairs, downstairs, which he's the most famous for. So in 1957, he made this B movie called Cat Girl, and he cast the beautiful Barbara Shelley in the lead role. And I love this type of thing. It's like any kind of shape-shifting werebeasts, you know. I love all of that, you know. And it is very gothic. Now, Barbara Shelley, you know, she's an Aquarius like me and a Catholic girl like me. She went to convent school. She wanted to be on the stage, but she was very shy. So they talked her into becoming a model. And because she was a good model, she was hired by Hammer Studios to be in one of their films. And she was in Village of the Damned. She was in Dracula, Prince of Darkness. She was in Rasputin, the Mad Monk. She was in The Gorgon and The Quartermass in the Pit. So she'd been in a few of these, and I know I've seen her in several. I really liked her in The Gorgon, and I really like her in this quite a lot. But she also, like Barbara Steele, our other Barbara, she made a lot of films in Italy, which I'm going to try to track down. She spent 4 years in Italy speaking Italian and making films. So yeah, I'm going to see if any of those are any good. See if they're as good as Barbara Steele's ones, you know. So it's really fun to see her, and you can see why she ended up being in horror films, because she does know how to exude a certain vibe, let's put it that way. Now, the doctor is played by an American actor, Robert Ayres, and you know, he's a little stiff, but he's okay. You know, I feel like he's one of those actors that has a voice, and I think some actors who have these voices are kind of prisoners of their voice. Like their voice tends to dominate their acting, so they have less, say, emotional range or character range, because their voice kind of takes over. And he seems like He's one of these. So, but he was in some films. A lot of these actors were also on the stage a lot. I couldn't find a lot of information about them, except they do have quite a lot of stage, and they do have a lot of movies I never heard of, and a lot of television shows as well. So just because I can't find things that I know very well or that suit my channel doesn't mean that they didn't work a lot. Ernest Milton. Now, Ernest Milton plays the old man in the old dark house. And he was rather a flamboyant actor from San Francisco, so need I say more. But he was in The Scarlet Pimpernel. You know, he worked a lot on stage. He'd be the type, you can see he's a great character actor, and he did a lot of stage work, and he did a lot of television and films, but mostly on the stage. And his sidekick, the really old lady, is called Lilly Kann, and she's a German character actress, and she worked a lot in the UK. That's the best I could do on these, because like I said, other than their filmographies and things, there's not a lot of information about these people that I can find. Except the director, he's quite posh, and Barbara Shelley. She's quite an interesting person in her own right. So, yeah, if you spot the cat people references in this film, if you love Val Lewton, who I love, but I don't dare show any of his films here, yeah, leave a comment down below if you see these little influences, or if you see any other influences from the Val Lewton type movies. So anyway, if you want to support my channel, there's a link to buy me a coffee in the description. I'm trying to get enough people to support the channel so I might be able to hire an editor to help me, and now I'll do more film critique type things. Not that I'm a big critic, but more ideas I have around films and stuff, if that would interest you. It also helps support the channel. I'd really appreciate it, liking and subscribing. You know, if all you guys would subscribe, it would help tremendously as well. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy Cat Girl.
We shall go out as soon as my niece reaches this house. She will come soon.
How do you feel now? Ready to face the old man?
Dread going back to that house. I can feel his presence already.
How far is it from here?
A few miles down the road. Richard, take me back to London.
Oh, Leonora, for heaven's sake, be practical. You're his heir. Why antagonize him?
That's right. We must be practical at all costs, mustn't we?
Well, one weekend won't kill us. And anyway, there is the legacy. Besides, Allan and Cathy will cheer things up a bit.
Telegram told me to come alone. There'll be trouble when he sees them, as well as you.
Your husband has a perfect right to come serve your friends. What's the matter?
Nothing. I was remembering this room. It was the year I left, or should I say escaped from my uncle's care, the year I went abroad. I was given my first gin and tonic in this bar.
Aren't you two going to dance?
My bride is indulging in nostalgic reminiscences. As a perfect husband, I'm allowing her to wallow in them.
Yeah, wedded bliss. Well, that calls for a drink. It's the perfect match. Leonora's money and Richard's capacity for spending.
Shut up.
Come on, Richard, your turn for exercise. Allan dances like a broken-down bulldozer.
Not at all. I'm very light on your feet. I shall refuel and take off again. Come on.
Oh!
Sorry, dear.
Pardon me. Leonora Brandt, isn't it?
Hello. My husband, Richard Johnson, Dr. Brian Marlowe.
How do you do? Look, if you two will excuse me, I'll go and relieve Allan for a bit. By the way, Doctor, how's the storm?
Down to a fine drizzle now.
Good. We'll shove off soon.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I thought you'd moved to London years ago.
That's right. Mother left me the house when she died. Dorothy and I use it for weekends.
Dorothy.
My wife. Well, what brings you back to the Brandt residence on a dark and stormy night?
My uncle sent for me. I haven't seen him for 9 years.
Well, the old man used to hate my guts.
He hated anyone in the district who was remotely civil to me. I wrote to you several times after your medical exams. You never answered, did you?
I went back to the States to complete my studies.
And before that?
I was a preoccupied medical student. You were just a kid.
Was I? Where do you practice now? In case I cut myself on a tin opener.
Holly Street. But I meant neuroses, not cuts. I'm a psychiatrist.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, indeed. So if you hear of any wealthy neurotics around, just pass them along to me, huh? Say, I really should be going. Dorothy's expecting me back in a half hour. We've got guests coming to dinner.
Stay a little longer, please. Please.
I'll be murdered.
Aren't you holding me a little tight for a newly married man?
Force of habit, remember?
Yes. What's the matter with your wife, Richard? She's acting very strangely tonight.
No more than usual.
Careful, she can see us.
I doubt it. She's talking over old times with a long-lost local lover. She doesn't know there's anyone else in the room. I see you find me entirely irresistible.
You know I don't. But I must get used to the idea of doing without you. Mustn't I?
Why must you?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we can get together over the weekend. I'd like you to meet Dorothy.
You really have to go.
It's lately, awfully late.
I suppose it is.
Goodbye now. Nice to see you again.
Bye.
The rumor has it the rain stopped.
Has it?
Oh, come on, let's get going.
Hey, look at me. I'm taking my courage in both hands.
Here, Allan.
is over. We are going out. When my niece arrives, you will show her to her room. You will not speak with her. Is that understood?
And if she does not come?
She will come. She has no choice.
Better she had never been born than come back here to this.
Anna, it was her destiny to be born a Brandt as it is mine to die as one.
Wake up, Allan.
Over there?
We are.
I can't go into that house. I can't.
Whatever so childish, she's only your uncle. Get out of the car.
What is this place? A training school for ghouls?
Somebody please tell me what I'm doing here?
You tell her, Richard.
You were to come alone, Miss Leonora.
Nice pictures. Valuable.
Who is he?
Naturally, I've come with my husband. The other lady and gentlemen are my guests. Please take our cases upstairs, then show us to our rooms. After that, perhaps you'll bring us some coffee. Anna?
Yes, Miss Leonora?
Why isn't my uncle here?
He's gone out for a while, but he will return later.
What's the matter with you?
Can't you hear it?
Hear what?
I didn't hear anything.
How did I?
No, no. Leave it.
Some light in this morgue. Allan, turn that lamp on.
No, put it out.
Love of darkness must run in the family. Well, I must say I consider our host very rude. He ought to be here to welcome us. Where the heck is he?
I've no idea.
I need a drink.
So do I.
Well, there must be some liquor in this crypt.
Well, go on, let's have a look round. It'll give us something to do.
Why not? I bet the old miser keeps it locked up in there.
Yes. Maybe we can get in from the terrace. Come on.
Hurry up before he comes back.
All right, I'm doing my best.
Richard, why did she marry you? She doesn't love you, does she? You haven't answered my question. Richard. I know it sounds crazy, but Leonora, I'm afraid of her.
Afraid of her? Why?
I don't know, really, but she's so wild sometimes. Almost savage, like an animal. She terrifies me.
What nonsense. You need a drink. Come on, let's get this lock undone.
No, leave it. I'm cold.
Are you?
Leonora could see us now. She'd kill us. Both of us.
Let her try.
I mean it.
Leave them alone. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Friends of Leonora. She invited us down for the weekend.
I happen to be Leonora's husband.
Indeed. Go in by the front door.
Well, well.
So you're back.
You were instructed to come alone.
I asked him to come with me.
That's what I call real hospitality.
If that's your uncle, you can keep him.
No, I can't stand much more of this without a drink.
I shall speak with my niece tonight when the others are asleep, so that we shall not be disturbed.
Your rooms are ready if you wish to retire. Miss Leonora will have the principal bedroom. The other 3 rooms are in the west wing.
What?
They were not expected.
What do you want?
Shh, quiet. The others must not be disturbed. You will come downstairs at once. Your uncle wishes to speak to you.
Now?
At once. Come, please.
Tell him I will see him in the morning.
Oh, no. You must see him now. Please put on your things and come with me. You were always a lovely child, Miss Leonora. Now you have grown into a very beautiful woman. Come along.
And it shall take place in the 70th year of his life in the 3rd moon. And the curse of the Brandts shall be handed on to his heir or successor. And his mortal life shall be... You may go now. Yes, Anna, I was forgetting. It is time for you and me to part. I am grateful to you. Take care of her. Now come with me.
No, not in there.
Don't be afraid.
I wasn't allowed in that room as a child. Why should I go in now? What's in there?
You are to learn the secret of that room now. Come. You must pull yourself together, Leonora. Look.
You must be.
If it were only true, the madness would die with me. The curse is part of my estate. Must pass on to my heir, to my nearest blood relation, to my dead brother's only child, my Leonora.
I don't understand. What curse?
To be condemned to live a life of horror and anguish, to have the form and intellect of a man, yet the cunning and savagery and bloodlust of these creatures. Look at that statuette. Look at it closely. It is the symbol of my affliction.
Your mind's gone. You're ill.
From tonight it must pass on from my blood to yours. The love of darkness, the craving for warm, raw flesh and blood. It is my legacy to you, passed on from generation to generation of our family for over 700 years.
You've been reading too many of these books, haven't you? I'm sorry for you.
Keep your pity for yourself, Leonora. From now on and for the rest of your life, there will be two of you as there are two of me. Two separate entities, distinguishable from each other, but never apart in the mind.
Stop! Let me out of this room.
One commanding the other with a word, a thought. I will show you.
No.
Come, you must. Touch it, Leonora. Let it know the feel of your hand, for it will be the servant of your mind and the strength of your body. Touch it.
No, I can't. I won't.
Touch it. Do you not feel as it feels? Lithe, savage.
Quiet, lie down.
There. The animal is already under your control. Leonora Brandt. In the morning, your friends must go. All of them.
But it is my husband. Don't take him from me. Drive away the love I need as you did before.
Leonora, you must not bear children who may inherit the curse of this house. Our line must die out. Only then will this abomination cease.
I can't stand it anymore. Let me out of this room. Unlock the door.
You cannot escape your destiny, my child. You are chained to this room for the rest of your life. Lifelong burden. My spirit shall be liberated from my cursed body, from you, my other self. Is yours no longer. Do as you are bid. No!
Well, I reckon he asked for it.
Funny sort of hobby, sir.
Yes. Let's hope they can pick up the beast before it does any more damage.
I put out a 3-county warning.
Oh, that'll be Dr. Marlowe now. Maybe he can find out what that girl was doing in the woods with blood on her hands.
If you ask me, a mental doctor's what we need on this case. If you ask me, his niece is round the bend, too, like her uncle. If you ask me...
I'm not asking you.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Marlowe, I'm so glad you could come. She was calling for you when they found her.
Thank you. Leonora.
Yes?
I want you to tell me what happened last night. Why the glasses?
It's my eyes. The light hurts them.
Let me see them. Well?
It was just as he said it would be. My uncle destroyed himself by willing the animal to kill him. Just before it happened, I ran out into the woods. I was trying to get away from this house. Suddenly, I felt quite different. I became like a savage animal. I wanted to kill something, to feel the blood on my hands. You see, I have become what he was.
I'll give you something to quieten your nerves.
No. Don't come near me.
Come on, be a good girl. I promise it won't hurt you. Sit on the bed and uncover your left arm.
Then, when the animal came to me in the woods, I can't understand why I felt like I did. Blood on my hands made me feel strange, excited. I can't quite describe it.
Hold on now. Okay.
Yet somehow I knew the leopard was me, my other self. He said it would be.
Your other self?
Yes. Now we are one and the same.
One and the same, huh? Well, how about getting into bed? I want you to get some sleep.
Touch of your hand makes me feel almost myself again, as though it never happened.
That'll be the sedative working.
Brian. Stay and talk to me for a while. Missed you so much all these years. I've never stopped loving you. Now I need you.
Well, why don't you be a good girl, do just as I say, and get some rest?
Send the others away. Richard and all of them.
Why? You could do with some company around here to cheer you up. I'll come by this evening. Maybe bring Dorothy along.
What for? To prove you're happily married? To try and stop me loving you?
Now, leave.
Don't play with my emotions, Brian. I don't think I can control them anymore.
You will. Now get some rest. Sleep. Sleep.
You're not being very sociable tonight, are you?
What's the matter? Has Cathy stopped entertaining you?
What is it?
It's the leopard. Listen.
Nonsense. They've combed the forest from end to end, not a sign of it.
It's out there now. But only I can hear it. You must leave here, Richard, early tomorrow.
I seem to remember something about taking you for better or for worse. I have no intention of going.
I'm telling you to leave. Do you hear?
The others can go. I'm sticking around. And after all, this is my home now, isn't it?
I'm warning you. You don't...
I suggest you come in when you're a little calmer. We found some whiskey in the cellar, and Allan's as high as a kite.
Cozy little haunt, isn't it? Yeah, I guess haunt's the word. Werewolf, Fact, Not Legend, by Dr. Sigmund Auchinleck. The origin of lycanthropy. Medieval superstition.
Not to him. You see, he was.
Was what?
A werewolf.
Oh, now look, you don't really believe that, do you?
At night, when darkness came, his soul entered into the body of a leopard. He stalked the forest for prey, looking for things to kill and devour.
Let's not confuse fact with fiction. Your uncle imagined his soul entered the body of an animal.
It did. It's true.
Leonora, I want you to help me burn these books. I don't think we need to take them too seriously, do you? True history of the Brandt blood curse as recorded by 26 generations of the descendants of Count Brandt. Curse of God was put upon Count Peter Brandt in 1257. dummy animals and fairy tales. The morbid hobby of an unhinged old man.
No! Don't burn them! No!
Please!
No!
Please!
No!
Please!
No!
Get a hold of yourself!
I'm sorry. I don't quite know what happened. I'm sorry.
I apologize for my unprofessional behavior. I was attacking the symptom of your trouble and not the cause.
I hurt you.
I'll get by.
Am I out of my mind, Brandt? Tell me, is that what it is?
You're in a state of deep traumatic shock. The way your uncle died, this gruesome room, it's all contributed.
What am I going to do?
Leave this house as soon as possible.
Perhaps it is just imagination. It was so vivid. The leopard called to me from the darkness. Then I looked at my hands.
A vivid imagination can play curious tricks on the eyes.
I suppose it can.
Come on out into the hall. I want you to meet Dorothy.
No, I don't want to.
Dorothy's reality. It's important for you to face up to reality.
No.
Now look, I'm talking to you as a psychiatrist, a doctor, and as a friend. Now, come along and be sensible. Hello, honey. Leonora, this is Dorothy.
Hello. Well, that was charming. You see the way she looked at me as if she wanted to claw my eyes out.
She's a very disturbed girl, on the verge of a pretty severe psychosis.
On the verge.
I've got to help her. I'm sorry, honey. Come on, let's go home, huh?
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
How's the little Brandt Ayres? And what can I play for her?
Where's Richard? Where is Richard?
Oh, goodness knows. Said something about going for a walk with Cathy. Or something.
Did you hear that?
What?
I thought I heard that leopard again.
Sure, I did.
somebody watching us. I can feel it.
It is my legacy to you, passed on from generation.
I'm sorry to insist on these questions in the tragic circumstances. I'd like to offer my deepest sympathy on your husband's death.
Why should you? I killed him.
I think you'll agree that only a wild animal could have torn a man to pieces like that. It was that leopard again, no question of it.
Arrest me, do you hear? Stop it happening again.
Please. I know you're a little overwrought. But I want you to understand that this young lady here saw the animal jump from a tree and attack your husband. She saw it with her own eyes.
I would have torn her to pieces, too.
Our Dr. Marlowe's on his way. He'll give you something for your nerves.
He'll understand. I must make him believe me. I must.
Allan, will you please take me away from this madhouse?
Well, there's not likely to be a train at this hour. You'd better wait until daylight. I wouldn't go outside with that animal on the loose.
Well, why not take Richard's car? No use leaving it orphaned, is there? Leonora won't want it, will you?
Take it and go.
I'll go up and pack. I'm sorry, Leonora, but he did force me to go for a walk, and you know how persuasive Richard could be. After all,
it's all your fault!
Oh, hurry up and get packed and get away from here. You too, sir, if you please. Dr. Marlowe's car. Thank goodness for that. Now, calm yourself, please.
I'm going to take you to London, Nora. I'd like you to agree to a period of confinement in a sanitarium.
Why didn't you say a lunatic asylum?
Because you're not incurably insane. You're just a little run down, that's all. You won't have to stay there long.
All right. I'll do anything you say. I must get rid of this horrible nightmare.
Nightmare's the word, a sick delusion, and that's what we have to get rid of. Nothing more.
That's right, isn't it? A delusion. Nothing more.
I'll come for you tomorrow.
Don't leave me. I'm afraid. I have so many awful fears.
Start living with them. Face up to them squarely, and you'll see them for what they are.
I'm in love with you, Brian. It's the only thing I'm really certain of.
Look, Leonora, don't cling on to your memories. Get them out of your mind as well.
I love you, Brian.
I'll see you tomorrow, huh? Goodbye now.
You must not go with him to London.
He says he can help me.
You are beyond help, my child. You are as your uncle was, and his father. Back to the beginning.
No. You only say that because you're insane, too, like he was. I'm going to London with Dr. Marlowe.
Go where you wish. The curse of the Brandts will follow you to the grave.
Get out! Go back to your room.
She should be ready.
Oh, hello. Brian's just...
Oh, there you are. Nobody's answering.
Anna's left me.
She has? Well, that's just as well. Why don't you two sit in the back together? Get to know one another.
If you don't think I'm rude, I'd rather sit in front. I get sick in the back. Don't I, darling?
Of course. Hop in, Lee.
Lee. No one ever calls me that but you.
I suggest we get started.
Take your things off and put these on. The nurse will be along in a minute.
Come on.
Well, had yourself quite a night, didn't you?
Now do you believe me?
Believe what?
Look at me. My face, my hands.
I'm looking.
Tell me what you see. It's all right because I know. I've seen.
Suppose you take a look in the mirror and tell me what it is I fail to see. Thank you, nurse. Leave everything now. Wait in the corridor for me, please.
Last night, I heard it calling to me again. Tried to get out of this room. Tried to break down those bars. I was a wild animal. My face, my hands, my whole body. Don't believe me, do you? Brian, could a human being have done all this? A normal woman?
A mentally disturbed person could have. Did, in fact.
No. Last night I was an animal. I was an animal. An animal.
Lee,
I was an animal.
Lee, relax. Come on over here and sit down. Now listen to me. I know you well enough to bypass some formalities of psychiatric procedure. I want to take a shortcut. Okay. Now let's look at the facts together. Calmly, you and I. Your medical examination yesterday shows that you're in an abnormal state of mind. Your reflexes, your heartbeat, your pulse.
I'm perfectly rational, I swear.
All right, you're perfectly rational. Now tell me again, what happened last night?
I told you. I became a leopard. I tore up the bedclothes. I wrecked the room. If anyone had come in, I'd have torn them to ribbons.
Well, this is the talk of a rational person?
But I saw myself in the mirror.
Your sick mind created an image for you.
Then how do you explain the leopard? I will it to come to me, and it does. It's close to me all the time. I can hear it.
Will it to come to you now?
It only comes at night.
All right, fine. And I'll come back tonight, and you can call it to you here.
Then will you believe me?
We'll see.
Take me in your arms, Brandt. I seem to lose all my fears when I'm in your arms. I feel safe.
Lee, if you're going to make a personal relationship out of this, I can't help you.
Sorry. I won't bother you anymore.
Nurse. Have some light in here.
No light.
All right, no light. It's time for our little demonstration. Go ahead.
It's out there now.
Ask it to show itself.
It'll mean the loss of a human life. You realize that, don't you? It's hungry for blood. You'll be responsible for death just as much as I shall be.
Make it come to the window, Leonora. Go on, call it.
Kill. Kill. Kill.
Who's that?
My eyes.
What's the matter?
The light, it's blinding me.
What light? There isn't any light.
Honey? Stray dog, I suppose.
Your friend isn't very punctual, is he?
It was the light. He can't stand the light.
You're trying to rationalize an impossibility. It won't do.
It's true. It's out there now. It's part of myself.
Prove it.
Look at me. My hands are like the claws of an animal.
Are they? Let me see.
No.
Show me your hands.
No.
Lee, I want to see your hands.
Are you satisfied?
I am. Are you? Look at them.
But a moment ago, when I was speaking to you, I swear
Then
that...
why aren't they now? It always happens when you're alone, doesn't it?
Yes,
You saw your hands turn into claws because you wanted to.
perhaps you're right.
These are human hands. Pretty hands, nothing more. They always have been, they always will be. Shock forced you into the state, and shock brought you out of it like a victim of amnesia. Lee, I'm going to take you out of here for a couple of days. Have you mix with normal people.
Is it safe?
I'll take that chance. Tomorrow, I suggest you spend the day with Dorothy. Shopping, lunch, maybe a movie. Then in the evening, we'll all have dinner together.
Whatever you say, Brian, you're the doctor.
You get your things together, I'll make arrangements to have you move out of here into a hotel. And I'll have Dorothy call for you tomorrow. Goodbye for now. Pick her up at the hotel before lunch. She'll be ready.
I really am dreading it, Brian. I can't help it.
Oh, nonsense. She's over the worst now. Just the same, I'd like you to watch her reactions carefully. Note everything she says and does.
The canary observing the cat.
You'll be among crowds all day. Take taxis, keep to the main streets. I'll be home around 8:30.
I'm still terribly afraid of her, Brian.
Oh, come on, honey. Help me out just this once, huh?
As if you didn't know I would.
That's my good girl. Bye for now.
This rain's a nuisance. We'll never get a taxi. I love velvet, don't you? When I die, I want to be wrapped in velvet. What a charming thought. Have some tea. Velvet makes me want to curl up and go to sleep. Just like... We'd better get home. It's getting late. Hurry up and... What's the matter, Dorothy? Nothing. The dog. Be a pet and zip me up, will you? What's the matter? Is it broken? Thanks. I don't know about you, but I could do with a stiff whiskey. I'm chilled to the marrow. I asked Brian to get some soda. I expect he forgot. Oh, well, I'll go downstairs and borrow some from the Bennetts. I shan't be there. Hello?
That you, Leonora?
Yes.
How are things?
Fine, thanks.
How'd the day go?
Very well.
No bad moments?
Not one.
Looks like we're on the right track.
Yes, Doctor.
Dorothy there?
No, she went downstairs to get some soda.
Darn, I forgot that. Listen, looks like I'm going to be held up here longer than I thought. I suggest you two meet me for dinner somewhere out here, say around 10 o'clock.
Where are you?
Way down in the East End, near the docks. We can eat at the Riverview Grill. It's a little tavern on the waterfront. Dorothy knows where it is.
I'll tell her.
Fine. Meet me there at 10 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye. By the way, Brian called. He's left the hospital. He wants us to meet him.
Oh, where?
The corner of Denmark Street off the Commercial Road. 10 o'clock. He's going to take us to a little riverside restaurant.
Right out there. It's in the heart of the London docks. I don't feel like that.
Neither do I. Why don't we stay here and talk? You can telephone him in a moment.
We don't know where he is.
No, we don't, do we?
I think perhaps I will go after all. No sense staying here cooped up with my nerves. Why don't you stay here in the warm? Brian and I won't be long. Just a quiet dinner and then home.
Yes. Yes, I think I'd let you go by yourself.
That's sensible. Well, I better be off. I'll never get a taxi in this rain. I wish Brian hadn't taken the car.
Why don't you take a bus?
Yes. Perhaps I will.
You better hurry up. Your husband will be breaking his heart wondering where you are.
Hello, telephone answering service. Oh, this is Mrs. Marlowe. If Dr. Marlowe calls, will you tell him that I got his message and I'll meet him at the corner of Denmark Street and Commercial Road as he suggested? Yes. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry you won't come.
Are you?
Hey, look at that. Must have got away from a zoo somewhere. Come on. Let's report it to the police. There you are, madam.
Thank you.
If you want Denmark Street, it's second on your left. Couple of minutes walk. Let's hope he doesn't keep you waiting too long. Rough neighborhood around here, you know.
Charlie, all cars. Escaped leopard reported heading down East India Dock Road. All cars in the area alerted. Warn all pedestrians. Out.
Turn around, look sharp. time do you make it?
Just gone 10:15, sir.
Where's the phone in there?
There's a call box just inside the door on your right, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Leonora, what are you doing here?
I decided to come after all. I hope you don't mind.
Drove inside to keep all the doors closed and warn them there's a leopard got loose.
A leopard?
We've just sighted him in Denmark Street, but lost him again. Keep your eyes open, will you?
Hello, message answering service. Dr. Marlowe here. Is my wife phoned by any chance? Where? Corner of Denmark Street.
He's late. Are you sure you got the message right?
Quite sure.
Why do you hate me so much?
Isn't it obvious?
Brian?
I'm in love with him.
But you married another man.
I was lonely and frightened.
He loves me, you know that, don't you?
Yes. Until death parts you.
Why do you say that? I don't think I'll wait.
I shall. What shall I tell him?
Tell him I've gone home.
How do I get to the corner of Denmark Street and Commercial Road?
You say Denmark Street? Yep. You better be careful how you go, sir. That's where they just spotted a leopard. The police have been here, you know, and they say he's still prowling around there somewhere.
Leopard? How do I get there?
Third turning left past Temple Street. You ought to have a gun, Sam. Why get he shot at us?
Come here a minute.
What is it?
appears to have been run over by a car, but it wasn't ours.
Wasn't mine either. I hit the leopard, that's all. There wasn't another car about.
You quite certain you didn't feel 2 bumps?
What are you getting at? I didn't hit her. I'd know if I had.
You come with me, sir.
Yeah, it's a piece of her raincoat, all right, but my car never touched it.
And how do you account for it, Doctor?
If I try to explain it now, you'd probably detain me for observation. Let's just say it's something to do with the conquest of mind over matter. Leave it at that, huh?
Would you mind leaving your car here, sir? We'll have it cleaned and returned to you later. Wilson!
Yes, sir.
Drive this lady and gentleman home.
Very good.
Come on, honey. You're going home in a Scotland Yard patrol car. There's nothing to worry about now.
Die out. Only then will this abomination cease.
Go where you wish. The curse of the Brandts will follow you to the grave.
Brian!